Welcome, Spikelings, to the Shark Typhoon.
Okay, hello. Good morning, everybody. Funny enough, this did not start off as a trudge deck. We kind of end up in there. I was I've always been really enamored with Castle Garenbrig. This is a land that generates 2 mana. It can enter untapped. That's a relatively unique effect in the modern format. And then when you combine it with Sunken Citadel, which is not in this build, when you combine it with Sunken Citadel, that's 2 lands that are each making 2 mana. I think it's pretty interesting. And so, this deck started off. I was trying to be like a mono green Castle Garenbrig into Ghalta deck, just try to like fairly ramp and hardcast the stuff. And I think it's kind of interesting that like that strategy is just not very weak to many hate cards. Um, and it did not test very well. Did not test very well at all. Um, and I I started to think a little bit like just kind of obviously like if I'm going to be playing all this big stuff, like just obviously I need to be playing fight rigging trudge and like this is I mean this is just broken. I think it's just I just think it is like one of the best things to be doing in modern, if not the best thing to be doing in modern, is having these 2 cards in your deck. And I was thinking a little bit about our other test of mono green fight rigging. This is not the first time we're playing this deck. This was we were trying to play test a new card, World War Hulk. To see like this lets you cast your next green creature spell for free, green or red, and then it does other stuff, puts counters on creatures, doubles power and toughness. Pretty interesting. Where you're like if you have all these hideaway cards stuck in your head, you just get to cast them for free. And so I was kind of thinking about that, and I was kind of thinking about how with Castle Garenbrig, Primeval Titan's kind of like a 5-drop instead of a 6-drop, and how I would probably rather just go Primeval Titan for double Mosswort Bridge instead of cast World War Hulk, at least a big chunk of the time. It doesn't require you to have something in your hand, and then just gives you 2 hideaway cards, which I think is pretty interesting. And I was also thinking about Mosswort Bridge in general, and like I think that this is the biggest draw to this version over the Eldrazi build. Is it's really easy to just play 4 copies of Mosswort Bridge. This card is really broken. This is a land that can cast 7 and 8 drops. And this is a land that can cast 7 and 8 drops by its. I guess you need 1 other green instead of having 6 other mana. That's really really powerful. I think another big draw is that Turntimber Symbiosis goes from being like your weakest MDFC to your strongest. I think that is very powerful as well. The fact that like putting Terastodon into play, putting Primeval Titan into play is more powerful, I think, than putting an Emrakul into play or an Ulamog. Just like getting those ETB effects are so strong. Although Emrakul's better some of the time, but Raph and Mikey too. I'm still trying to figure out a little bit of the top end stuff. I know I at the moment I really like Terastodon. This is the only effect that is gonna let you just like kind of like Emrakul the Promised did, just say you can't kill me. I'm going to Terastodon you. I'm going to blow up 3 of your lands or 2 permanents in a land. I'm going to say, you can't kill me. And then when you, in this deck, you're just going to continue to go over the top of your opponent after you say, you can't kill me. I'm testing out a couple of flex spot cards, Vaultborn Tyrant and Raph and Mikey. Raph and Mikey, a little bit weird, but you're more likely to hit, or you're about equally good to hit something powerful as mediocre, but also maybe Raph and Mikey is just still a relatively good effect if it's just going to be putting something into play every single turn and be a 7/7. And another big draw to this is that your Castle Garenbrigs help you cast your big stuff. So your Castle Garenbrig casting Titan, Castle Garenbrig casting Terastodon, Castle Garenbrig casting Vaultborn Tyrant, Ghalta is all pretty interesting. You've got a couple Summoners packs. You sometimes you're just going to grab a Titan with your Castle Garenbrig and cast it. Sometimes you're going to grab Trudge and combo off with Trudge, and sometimes you want to get like value Raph and Mikey, value and then sometimes Ghalta to like unclunk your hand too. Got a Cavern of Souls with the Cyber because I think this build is maybe a little weaker to regular counter magic, although not as weak to Consign. 1 bounce land, not worth it. I don't think so. Got a lot of tap lands already. I don't think so. Can't kick Mycospawn. You can kick Mycospawn with Rumble. You can kick Mycospawn if you have a Cavern post board. Mycospawn is worse in this deck for sure than it usually would be. It's possible you don't play the Mycospawns, but Mycospawn it's been really good in testing still. Just like Mycospawn grabbing Mosswort Bridge is really broken. Mosswort Bridge is really, really broken this deck. And you can also go Mycospawn into Castle Garenbrig, which I think is pretty important. Possibly you're not wanting to play Mycospawn in this version though, but it also curves really well with Fanatic and Rumble. So let's get in there. Make sure I got the right 75 here. I got a mulligan to one lander, even though we have Trudge fight rigging. Interesting hand. Let's go ahead and put back the Ghalta probably, although Ghalta Disciple is really good. I like to think I'm most accepted them. I don't know why Ninja Turtles bothers me so deeply. It has. Ninja Turtles said I also really deeply disliked, but I can't wake up with Universe Beyond Angst every single day. I gotta move on. All right, I'm gonna grab the Terastodon here. So maybe up against Gorios. What are your thoughts on Brother Bear? Little Bear Switch. I mean, I don't know what this card is. You're gonna have to link it. I have not seen Brother Bear. I've seen the film. Excellent film, Brother Bear. So next turn we could go Pact for a Trudge, play a Trudge, cast a Mycospawn, activate Mosswort Bridge. It's a plan that folds really hard to any removal, but it's a powerful turn 3. We can't cast turn 2 for Ricky Moore. Yes, we do lose that nut draw. Okay. Why did my opponent cast a Leyline Binding? What are they doing? What are they up to? No good, of course. That goes without saying. Okay. Could work with that. Let's cast a Rumble. Another Trudge is really interesting because it just makes it really easy to try to go off with the Terastodon next turn. I think that that's just got to be the pick. Maybe I should be playing no, I think with double Trudge, I think this is probably good this is probably a good spot to keep Disciple Freyalise over Turntimber Symbiosis. Okay, Little Bear is okay. I'm gonna block the frog here, I think. Okay, whenever this creature enters, untap another target bear you control. If that creature is a bear, put a +1 counter on it. You call this card Splinter Twin? This creature enters, untap another creature you control. Oh, combos with Splinter Twin. Amazing. So my opponent, so I could Pact for a third Trudge here if I wanted, and Pacting for a third Trudge would allow me to I think I'm just gonna wait and try to do this at instant speed. Maybe other upkeep. It's a little bit weird. Mark Rosereiser said it never made sense the Bears were 2/2s. Yeah, but they like are 2/2s. You know what I mean? It's too late to move that away from that. They just are 2/2s. Okay, so our land is casting a Terastodon. Some counter magic, maybe. Okay, I don't know what the hell my opponent's doing. Are they just like a frog deck splashing for binding? They're warping a Riddler. Ephemerating the Riddler without discarding any cards. I guess they could just discard response to the triggers on the stack, sure. They're moving away from it. I guess I'm not dying on this hill. This is what Domain Zoo looks like. This deck is definitely not Domain Zoo. Okay, I think I'm just dead next turn. Okay, down a game. I want to bring in the Cavern of Souls. Pact can be pretty bad against these counter magic decks. Do I want a Chomping Changeling against the Leyline Binding deck? I think the answer is yes. Let's try this. Oh, maybe do I want to cut a land for the Cavern? Could cut a land and keep a Pact in, or I could I play Ooze? Like it's possible that they are like they just discarded like a lot of counter, like they discarded Counterspell. Hold on. They discarded Island. Probably should have let them discard some more cards, I guess. Main Zoo is now playing Black Blue with Frog. Almost certainly Zoo. Is Zoo playing 2 basic islands and Counterspell? There's no chance this is Zoo. Okay, gotta go to 5. That's seeing something. Maybe you could keep that. Think I have to go to 5. Okay, not a bad 5. So 1, 2, 3. Oh. I put back the Summers pack for sure. I feel like I guess I put back the castle. Yeah, I'll put back the castle. Terastodon again. This might be a Eternalized Fanatic kind of game. Yeah, I love the Fanatic is good too. It's always had a lot of potential. Always had a lot of potential. Another bridge. So if I go untap Disciple, Green Sun for Trudge, I could Mycospawn for an untapped land. I think we're just like a little bit too likely to get countered here, so I think I'm just gonna go cast Green Sun for 1, see if it resolves. Play another bridge. I guess I let's get a Rumble, I suppose. Get ready to Rumble. This would be a good spot for the land that would let me put a counter on the Mycospawn to give it Ferocious. Loki. Domain Zoo for sure. Fingers crossed here. Am I going to get another bridge? They might have a consign. If they consign, it's kind of an interesting choice between the cast. Oh, they just get a tap land. Okay. I think I'm just going to get a Castle Garenbrig so that I can hold a Disciple of Freyalise in my hand. Also, Castle Garenbrig casts Disciple of Freyalise. All right. Nice mold to 5. Goes to the 44 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So they're Esper, Loki, maybe also playing Ketrimos. All right, let's go. Thinks he goes to the 44. Gargaroth is mostly for prowess and Boros, but also sometimes we'll run into like a random deck like Dimir Flash, where its main removal is Fatal Push. And like, if you feel like your opponent's main removal is Fatal Push, then you probably bring it in there too. Okay, opponent is thinking. So it's gonna be our 4th mulligan in 3 games. I think on the draw on the mulligan to 6, I am going to keep this and hope to hit a single land for this hand to be good on the draw against a control deck. Not yet. It's not available summer format. It immediately runs into a deck where Veil will be good. Yeah, I know, dude. But what can you do? Like, if you look at, like, literally none of the first 16 decks on Goldfish Veil of Summer is particularly good against. And then immediately run into Esper control. I do feel like the leagues have been weird the last couple days. That's definitely been true. So they play a Loki. Do they have this? It seems like they have the Solitude. Oh, maybe not. I feel like leagues being weird is just a great sign for Modern. I agree. The weirdness has definitely increased a lot lately. I think the meta is still settling for the PT results, even though there were a lot of noise. I don't know. Maybe we're not playing against a lot of PT decks. We're playing against a lot of weird stuff. It feels like just like the last modern Pro Tour. People are not really. I feel like they're not adjusting to the PT. They're just doing whatever they want. Have everyone with just Trudge beat down? Yeah, I've definitely attacked for lethal with Trudge. Trudge also just being a 6/6 sometimes is awesome. And in these slower matchups, like your ability to to just like play at turn 1 is kind of like Crashing Footfalls. Like it's like suspend 3 for like 6 power instead of 8 power. All the Boros players need some new trade. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Is Boros players like, okay, our deck did bad at the PT, we'll switch stuff, possibly. Not feeling great about facing down the Loki here. I guess they don't have a binding if they got a Watery Grave, though. This Wrath Disguise for 1? Hard to feel too upset about that. Okay. Probably want to cast Sowing Mycospawn for Castle Garenbrig here. Although possibly maybe it should have been Cavern of Souls. I just can't cast the Titan next turn. Do you think Trudge is just dead in the water with the increase in push bobbles? No, dude. Okay, I don't think you're not like dead to those cards. Those cards are just kind of good against your deck, if that makes sense. It's like those cards are good against the Trudge deck, but it's not like those are not cards that just defeat the Trudge archetype completely. It's not like a Grafdigger's Cage against Neoform or a Meltdown against Affinity. It's just kind of a good effective tool against you. That being said, too, though, it's like Trudge is like was the best performing deck at the Pro Tour, one of the best performing decks in like the Pro Tour Trudge had was like one of the best events any deck has ever had. And so I just generally I'm gonna recommend believing in the Trudge deck still. Consign my Titan ETB, okay. So they play a Relic, they're gonna get to draw a card off the Loki. I've been wanting to go back to some Loki too. I'm thinking I actually really like the Aether Vial Loki build, and I'm wanting to mess with it some more. So I guess getting the Castle Garenbrig also ended up working out, huh? So they warp a Riddler after going to the second main phase for a second turn in a row. So many denying the turtle. I mean, the reality is like, I guess we'll take Disciple of Freyalise over Ghalta. The reality is like, I built the deck. It was very good. It was really powerful. It was something that was like, immediately, like I think almost should have been obviously a breakout deck. And people are like, oh, I don't think this deck's good. I'm telling everybody to play at the Pro Tour. People are like, oh, I don't think the deck's good. The Japanese team that plays it, they have one of the best Pro Tours in Pro Tour history, and people are just still going to, to like, I agree, not believe in the deck. I genuinely at this point don't understand, but I'm kind of over trying to understand. It's like, we could know it's good, and we won't need to, we don't need to force people to believe. Okay, if we could trade this for 2 elephants, that's okay. I guess I could check with the Mycospawn too. Like, look at the game we're having, and it's and this is like a completely different build too. Yeah, I'll take another Titan over Turntimber Symbiosis, and then the third Titan's not so good, although it's gonna be a good. I'll tap 2 mana for it. I'll tap 2 mana for it. Why not? What's the best sideboard card for Trudge Mirror match? Probably just being on more Ulamogs in the main than your opponent's the best tech. What do you think of their changes? I liked the Ulamog and the Ugins a lot, especially now that Trudge seems like it's just good modern deck. You need to be on the Ulamogs for sure. The Ugins are good too, although you could possibly just be on more Ulamogs. I do think Turntimber Symbiosis is better than Drowner of Truth. Okay, gonna mulligan this. Gonna go to 5. A lot of mulliganing so far. We did win our first round. 65.4. I thought it was 67. Maybe I've inflated it in my mind. Okay, so I might keep Bridge, Green Sun, Trudge, and just maybe is that 2 all in? Maybe it's 2 all in. Perhaps I could put back the second Bridge and the Terastodon. My opponent's thinking about their mull to 6. So definitely Terastodon. So if I kept this, I would go Bridge into... Yeah, I guess I go Bridge into Trudge into Green Sun. I still want to be able to Bridge, so we should just do this. It's been great for me bridging the mana gap for when Ulamog is cast. Although there's specific risk situations. So you're saying you just like hard cast it, then you can hard cast Ulamog? So that's interesting. Spike, is there a way to beat Trinisphere without Prowess without Trinisphere and Trudge? Yeah, you play a 1-mana 6/6 that they can't kill, and then you play a Fight Rigging that they can't interact with, and you cast a big cola spell off of it. So we're on the play against Trudge. Oh yeah, this will be an interesting matchup to see how this goes. The Terastodon should be very good. Although we're only going to get to kill 2 things with it this turn. Oh, only. I guess okay, so let's go play Trudge. And I need 1 more power, or sorry, I need to cast not 1 more power, I need to cast the Mycospawn. So let's get another bridge. Probably just respin with Fight Rigging here. And I guess I need to decide if I'm going to blow up one of my own lands for my own 3/3. So right now I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So probably not, so that I'm able to Green Sun for another like Terastodon if I want. Or Green Sun for like Raph and Mikey next turn. What is the best matchup with this deck in my opinion? Neoform. If you ran a single bounce land, you could prime time for Boseiju bounce land, have it in hand. I'm really uninterested in more tap lands. Like I'm already like this deck really doesn't like them, and you're playing Mosswort Bridge, which like as you can see is just an insane crazy card. And Mosswort Bridge really doesn't want you to play more on tap lands. And also Castle Garenbrig, just tap more time. And also like I'm not that interested in making Primeval Titan a little bit more powerful. I think it's just like Titan for double bridge is just so insane. I don't know. I could be wrong. Also, I could be wrong. Okay, so we are up a game in the Trudge mirror match. Being on the draw for game 2 is very difficult. There's not very many oftentimes you can you have a window to Chomping Changeling their Fight Rigging. I think this is a run it back kind of matchup. Now the mulligan. They kept 7 on the play. Can't mulligan this, so let's not. This Chalice had 1 slow the other Trudge deck enough for you to take over. No, Chalice is awful against Trudge. Chalice plays Trudge in the sideboard. You may notice that all of the 1-drops are X spells, Green Sun, Zenith, and Trudge. So if you Chalice had 1, you could just play Trudge X = 2 and it lives. It's fine. I guess I probably care more about having 3 life than I care about having -1 stun counter. Second Trudge is a very good draw to avoid K command here. Kicking Mycospawn seems difficult, does seem necessary. You can kick it in the deck off of spawn tokens, but so in this deck, Green Sun Zenith gets a lot better, Symbiosis gets a lot better. You get to play 4 Mosswort Bridge is really good. Your Green Suns, Green Suns gets a lot better. And it's definitely true that your Mycospawns get a lot worse. You're not playing Eldrazi Temple and you can't kick it. I do think Mycospawn is still a good card in this deck. It's still like a worthy modern card to include. They put a card on top with the K command pretty fast. Hopefully they don't just have 2 K commands. Seems like they do, although it looks like I have a 3rd Trudge. So I'm gonna cast Fight Rigging. If they have another K command, then we have another Trudge. Okay. Scry drawing again. 2 on the bottom this time. Yeah, just tutoring Bridge, tutoring Castle Garenbrig to curve into Titan, tutoring Cavern post board, giving you 10 power sometimes is pretty important. All right, do they have the Trudge to go with their Fight Rigging? Is my dog a static image received? It's not just my my dog in the image. It's me too. We filmed a commercial and We'll be airing it again at some point. What am I blowing up? I guess I'm going to blow up Fight Rigging, Eldrazi Temple Forest. Yeah, it was just going to be me, and then Lucy, you know, had the creative input to add herself to the commercial. But this is a Gemstone Caverns. Oh no, my opponent. You're about to learn today. I think. Wait, do I still get to cast the card? Yeah, you got to do it before the trigger resolves. You got to do that before the trigger resolves. Big punt. Although maybe we should be playing Force of Vigors of the sideboard to fight our opponent's fight riggings, and that gives us kind of an advantage because they only have one bridge and we have and so like it's if you just fight the fight riggings, that's gonna be a bit easier. So they imprinted Ulamog. They got 2 cards in their hand. They have like a Mycospawn here. They Mycospawn for bridge. We did give them enough power toughness to play it, I guess. They said Green Sun for a Fanatic. Okay, not too scary. So I have 7, 8 mana, but I don't have anything to put into play off the Ghalta this turn. Nice. So let's go. Yeah, counter on the Terastodon, and then they can't even triple block. They have to quadruple block. We'll get 2 bridges. For fight rigging, which is a good hit. And let's go Disciple of Freyalise. Why not? I'm going to hold up the Boseiju channel for a copy of fight rigging of their own. Nothing but Ghalta. I think 12-12 chose good board. I mean, it's fine on this board, but it's just worse than casting fight rigging is kind of the point I was trying to make. But you're right. Sometimes I don't close my thoughts. Okay, so they do have Trudge. They have 6 mana right now, but we have Boseiju up for another fight rigging, which is like the only card that gets them out of this. Monitoring better than Eldrazi. It's too early to say. It's too early to say that this is the better version, but there's a lot to like about this build, I think. Also, you know, there's a non-zero chance Kozilek's Command is not legal in Modern at some point, and I think if Kozilek's Command gets banned, this is almost definitely what the deck is going to end up looking like. So, like, there's maybe some value in getting ahead of the curve a little bit. I think we mulligan with double fight rigging, no trudge. Would I keep this if this was an untapped land? Maybe. Am I going to keep anyways on 6? I might keep it anyways on 6. It's pretty bad. Let's go to 5. Okay, gonna have to keep this on 5. I mean, August 10th? Yeah, sorry, August 10th. Don't even know what I actually said. Go grab the Vaultborn Tyrant. Still kind of unsure about Vaultborn Tyrant. Kind of unsure about Raph and Mikey. Is World War Hulk in this version too redundant? So we played World War Hulk in our first draft of this deck, and this was kind of like we're testing a new card, we're testing World War Hulk. And sometimes when you test new cards, you also just get to learn other lessons. And one lesson I think we learned was that Primeval Titan is actually just like a really powerful and exciting card for the archetype. Primeval Titan allows you to like just get double bridge. And so my thinking here is like Castle Garenbrig letting Primeval Titan be like a 5-drop is like a much better than World War Hulk. And in addition to Primeval Titan being a good hit off of your hideaway stuff, while World War Hulk usually wasn't. And so that's kind of the attitude of this deck building is as Titan is kind of replacing World War Hulk. We come full circle and Spike liking Titan. Yeah, I guess so. It is fun to play Primeval Titan like this, just like grab 2 value lands. Interesting that Static Prison is becoming popular in Boros Synergy again. It's been like pretty out of it for like a year. They flip over Castle Garenbrig. They end the turn. Right, well, let's get ready to rumble. Another Fanatic might be the best grab. Although I could grab this Trudge and then I could eternalize this Fanatic next turn. That seems like the move. And I could also maybe block the Ragavan with the Spawn. Really good Rumble. Sonic Prison wasn't very good in card of Boros. I hate seeing that card. Yeah, it definitely feels like there are several times like Trudge. Maybe Trudge is part of the reason why, because it deals with Trudge on turn 1, and like they couldn't deal with it otherwise. But I agree. It is a powerful effect. What you got here? A discharge? Sure, I should probably F6 so I can sack this in response to discharge. Is there room for woodland? It's gonna enter taps a lot of time. Like Castle Garenbrig is kind of entering that like untapped if you control a forest clause. Another thing is like if you're gonna copy Ghalta or Terastodon, it's just it doesn't do that much for you. But copying Raph and Mikey is really good. But it's like your guys. It's not as good as like copying an Emrakul. Okay, so their Static Prison ticks down to 1. They do have 5 cards in their hand. They're going to smack me with Ragavan. If we draw a green sun, a Pact, or a Trudge, we get to maybe just cast Vaultborn Tyrant next turn. Should be a good matchup, but we did bowl to 5. How much is Vaultborn Tyrant? Yeah, I don't know. So I this card is like a bit of an experiment. It's a little bit of a leftover from a different direction I was going, where I was just trying to be like all in on Sunken Citadel, Castle Garenbrig, plus Ghalta, and like you could go like Ghalta, put in Vaultborn Tyrant, Disciple of Freyalise. Kind of predictably did not test very well. But it was just kind of an idea I was trying. But this is I still want to see like how does Vaultborn Tyrant plus Disciple of Freyalise, like am I ever going to tutor up Vaultborn Tyrant? They flipped a Disciple of Freyalise here. Surprising yourself to Blood Moon, or there's some land cyclers useful. I mean, if you just like have a single forest, which you have 6 of in the deck, you're pretty good to Blood Moon. Like I would. Oh wow, we hit the Trudge. I think I care more about 3 life than a stun counter again. Can't try to ambush at instant speed because of the Voice of Victory. So this says, whenever it or another creature with power 4 or greater enters, you gain 3 life and draw a card. And then when it dies, if it's not a token, you make a token copy of it that still has that same ability. Yeah, I know. It just sounds so fun to sack the Disciple of Freyalise, but I don't know. It might not be, a second Raph and Mikey might be good. We might not need another big thing in this spot. We might want we might want another Summoner's Pact in this spot. Definitely looking good here. So next turn we could maybe get another Mosswort Bridge. We could also maybe just play Eternalized Fanatic and trigger the Vaultborn Tyrant, and then maybe set up to cast Terastodon the following turn. I don't have to mention. I agree. I think it's probably reasonable on its own. I'm a bit scared of a second Static Prison here, I guess, and then they could like pay for both Static Prisons both next turn. Another bowl to 5 here. My opponent's better be scared if we actually get to keep 7 cards at any point today. I think we bowled to 5 4 times and 6 every single other game. Gaining life is good. Gaining life is good. So they're going to attack for 7. I'm going to block the Ragavan, I think. Yeah, sure. Take 5 down to 11. Not dead to a Goblin Bombardment. I'm probably dead if their last 2 cards are both a Johnny and Goblin Bombardment. Sacking Vaultborn to Natural Order and keep feels great. Natural Order is actually a card that oh, okay. I mean, this is fine. I was actually thinking about Natural Order plus Trudge, like pay 1, pay 1, draw 6, discard 3. I don't think the problem is you can't really convert those cards into mana very well. If there's ever becomes a way to convert those cards into mana, I think it becomes actually pretty interesting, but we're not quite there. Okay, I guess let's go. Eternalized Fanatic, gain 3 life, draw a card. Also, like, Trudge triggers this for 1 mana, which is kind of interesting. I think I played this over the Dryad Arbor, although Arbor being a good blocker is nice. Okay. Yeah, let's go for Disciple of Freyalise here. I think you're being great or good. Oh, sorry, I do being great or good. Which is legal in Modern. Is legal in Modern. I was trying to see if I could do anything with it, and I don't really think so. Dude, they're graveyarding a Spyro. Great news for us. And then we also are probably getting the second Fanatic back, which is also great news for us. Given the play dates of Broodscale Trudge, Neoform, and Cosmic Goyf, are there any good answers? I mean, there's good answers to all of those decks, but one dynamic of Modern is that, you know, it's kind of rare for two decks to be popular with like that much overlapping hate available for them. I'll say like Brood-Scale and Trudge are like they're really grindy and they're hard to hate out, but there are cards that are good against them. And then Cosmic Wave Fling and Neoform are like very, very fragile decks that fold really hard to hate. So it's I don't know if it's the best idea to compare them so hard. Okay, let's win the game. Or I guess we're not going to win the game this turn, but we'll effectively end it. I'm going to cast Terastodon. I guess I am giving them a lot of Guide of Souls triggers here. We should be fine. We should be fine. And I think I want to go Disciple of Freyalise, sack a Trudge here. See if we can find a fight rigging. Yeah. Sadly, this is already a token, so we can't sack the Tyrant for the trigger. At a cool 26, we do find one. And they just concede. Nice. Also, Treasure's going to trigger the Tyrant some more. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, we're not. It's not a Carnage Tyrant. It's Vaultborn Tyrant. So I'm going to be bringing in Elder Gargaroth and 2 Chomping Changelings. Chomping Changeling, pretty important to deal with Blood Moon, especially with how end on bridge we are. Then also can kill Static Prison, can kill High Noon, can kill Vexing Bauble, can kill Goblin Bombardment. So I've been just kind of liking having access to the second copy in the matchup. I think I'm probably going to trim the curve a little bit with Ghalta, although maybe Ghalta is good. Like, Ghalta does, like, put a ton of stuff into play. Maybe we cut the packs. I think I want the first Pact. Maybe go down to 1 nasty Terasti. Maybe the Raph and Mikey a little too high variance. They also have to attack. You can't defend with it very well. Could try that. Elk, good to see ya. Happy 3-year anniversary. I did consider Woodfall Primus. I think the card's not amazing, but it is really cool to sack to Disciple of Freyalise. I feel like it's like a third as good as Terastodon. Is kind of how I think about it. So that's kind of awkward. Am I just paying for Pact? Oh yeah, we got lots of mana. I'm not broke. I could pay for a Summoner's Pact, dude. I'm thinking of getting into Mono Black Golgari Necro. Any tips? So maybe wait for today or tomorrow's stream. I'm not sure if we're gonna get to this today, but the backup deck I'm pretty excited about. I don't exactly know how good this is, but I had the thought of, what if instead of building around Necrogoyf, we built around Death Shadow? There's a lot of advantages to Death Shadow Fling instead of Cosmic Wave Fling. One, you get to play Thoughtseize in your deck. And Fatal Push, which are more powerful than Requiting Hex and Duress. Not that those cards have been bad, but they are more powerful. You don't have to play Serum Powder in your build, and Death Shadow being 1 mana is really, really nice because you get to go Necro, and then you get to go Inquisition or Thoughtseize, then Death Shadow, then Plunge. And being able to go on turn 4 like Disruption Spell, Shadow Plunge is really good. And then another thing is, if you get the Shadow, if you go to 1 life, Death Shadow plus Plunge plus 2 Soul Spikes is lethal. So I think that dynamic's kind of interesting too. And then another thing that's interesting about this is you're not cold to Blood Moon anymore. You do have to get 3 swamps in play, but it's not too tough with all the fetches. I think maybe you could go less on the fetch lands. But I really didn't like that you couldn't beat a Blood Moon with the other build, and so I don't know exactly how much better this version is, but it's at least interesting enough to me to be testing it. So maybe wait on buying in until we see how good that version is. Abigail to keep the Necro going. Abigail's interesting. I don't know. I think you probably just want to play more plunges. I could get Arbor and try to block here. I think I'm going to do that. It's a little bit weird. Consider Oasis or Number Forest. In our very earliest drafts of these decks, we had Oasis. That was in the Eldrazi version where you want colorless. In this version, I would just always play Forest. Like, it makes Castle Garenbrig get untapped, and It also just beats Blood Moon, which is important, and there's like a lot of Ponza. So I would play like the 12th forest before I played the first Haship Oasis. Although buffing the power, I understand why you want it. Did you ever play Progenitus or World Spy Worm? No. So they flip over a copy of Turntimber Symbiosis there. Let's get ready to rumble. So I guess I'm going to grab a basic forest with the intention of casting the Mycospawn next turn and grabbing Castle Garenbrig. To me, this Death Shadow's how I imagine Death Shadow looking. Oh, the art. I thought it would be necklace. I've never seen this one. This one's sick. Shout out Magali Villeneuve. Sorry. And also sorry. Shout out and sorry. I'm working on a version Civic Ritual that's off Shardless, on 4 Riddler, 2 Essence Flux, 3 Suspend. Suspend's been cool in testing with all the Vexing Bubbles running around. I'm a big Suspend hater, but I do think in Civic Ritual you must play 4 Quantum Riddlers. I think that card is just too good not to play in the deck. Villeneuve, cool. Or Villeneuve. Maybe you can play a bounce land so you can Titan kill bobbles. Maybe, yeah. Like a lot of people have suggested the bounce land. I'm not exactly a believer at the moment. They hit a rumble, which is like one of the only like good cards for them here. They should cast it. I can't really imagine what their hand is that they shouldn't cast it. Okay, my hand is pretty good against Blood Moon at the moment, although I guess I'm just gonna Mycospawn for a basic forest instead of dude, they didn't cast Rumble. Oh, yeah, I'll just get a 3rd basic instead of the Castle Garenbrig. So a little bit more time before we can get the Titan going, I guess. Thoughts on LeBron moving to Sixers? I think it was a good move. Good move for him, and I'm excited to watch their team next year. I think it made the most sense for him, and I'll say Joel Embiid is I don't want to say it's did I say his name right, Joel Embiid. I didn't know a lot about him, but like watching his playoff games this last season was really fun, and he became a player that I think I really enjoy watching. So I think watching him and LeBron together is gonna be really cool. VJ XCOM has got to be like, I feel like he's like the luckiest rookie in the world that LeBron picked up, and he's a fun player too. And I don't know like a ton about the team besides that, but they should be fun. They discarded another Bauble. They got 2 new cards in their hand. Very good turn for our opponent. You know it's a good turn if you cast a Johnny. That's how you know if a turn was good, if a Johnny entered for you. Okay, I found a Boseiju. So why don't we play Fight Rigging? And then we can kind of decide if we want to channel Boseiju or maybe just cast Primeval Titan next turn. There's a Disciple of Freyalise, which seems okay here, I guess. Oh, also, maybe I should just channel Boseiju now so they can't get the card off the Vexing Bauble, but then they get like the Surveil and the mana, so it's kind of tough, I guess. But yeah, next turn we could go Pact for Trudge, play Trudge for 1, draw 6, try to play another spell. I think that's going to be our line. And yeah, I think I'll wait on the Boseiju. One mana short of doing it all this turn, I guess. It's Villanova. I'll say the N-U-V-H. I don't know phonetically how that's supposed to be pronounced. So they've got a guy. They only have 1 energy right now. Fuck. No, I see. Oh, that's right. They don't get the Surveil because of the Blood Moon. That's true. They could get the second Plains. So I guess they kill the Mycospawn. I don't know that we can win this game. We do get to play game 3 on the play if we go to game 3. They're gonna hit me for 5, 6, 7. Johnny does die to Terastodon for whatever that's worth. If we draw a land, we're good. I guess I don't know what your vision for draw a land is. Oh, you just want to go cast Terastodon and then Disciple of Freyalise. Sack the Primeval Titan? Or so cast Primeval Titan, Disciple of Freyalise. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. I mean, my opponent could deal like 50 damage next turn, or not that much, but oh wow. Okay, that's the best draw. That's the best draw. Is this prime time with Trudge? Dude, this is Trudge with prime time. Okay, we hit Ghalta. Okay, we found the way to win. So I guess we want to. I guess we can't. We have to Disciple of Freyalise after. After we Ghalta. So we do it first. I mean, and that might be fine, right? But it'd be cool to draw so many cards and then put more stuff into play, right? Oh my gosh! It stacked the triggers automatically. No. Sorry. I think I've just because the triggers have stacked automatically. Yeah, I forgot to check for that. Magic Online nonsense, I suppose. We still draw 6 and put the creatures in. No, the problem is we don't have enough. We won't be able to fight rigging. We won't have a creature in play. Okay, so if I go for the Ghalta here, I do get to kill a Johnny. The problem is they're just gonna kill me with the flying from Guide of Souls. I don't really have a way to win. Sack itself? No, it's another creature. It's another thing on me. I mean, I could have done this correctly, but I mean, it is annoying that it's on automatically. But I do think we're probably winning this game if we had been able to stack it correctly there. At the moment, I think we're probably dying. We must be, I'm sure. We also have a Summoner's Pact to pay for next turn. Right, they go 1. This is 6 damage down to 7. Yeah, okay, okay. So let's go to game 3. We get to be able to play for game 3. That would have been such a cool turn too. I'm sorry about that. It's a May. You don't need to sack. I know I could. I'm dead. I'm dead. The 3/3 doesn't save me. I needed the life gain. Okay, game 3 of the play. Kind of interested in cutting the Summoner's Pact if they're going to have all of these Vexing Baubles. I think that makes sense. Probably just play the Terastodon. If you Ghalta, couldn't you... Terastodon doesn't hit... doesn't kill creatures. It's non-creatures only. Is that a default feature? Yeah, the stacking abilities is on by default. Have I thought more about Crumbling Vestige? So you wouldn't have played in this version because of the lack of temples, I think. But it is interesting. Another mulligan. I think this is going to be a keep for me on 6 on the play against Boros. I think I'm just going to grab Turntimber. Yeah, so you go here. So dude, it even like returned it on. Do you have to turn it? Wait, I clicked it off. It's wait, why is it still there? So I'm clicking it off. I'm clicking off here. Okay, now it's there. I did the same clicks like 3 times. That's very odd. I don't even know what to make of that. Looking for Mycospawn, maybe Castle Garenbrig. Do I hit? Oh, this is rough. I guess I'm grabbing Boseiju. That's a rough rumble. I think it's the default setting you have to change. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was the lag. You need to wait to have priority. I guess that doesn't make any sense, but I mean, it's Magic Online. So they play an Arena of Glory. They're having some issues as well, thankfully. Do you think Thorn Mammoth would be a good sideboard card for the deck? I'll read a Thorn Mammoth. Sometimes I feel like y'all just want to flex your obscure ball knowledge. Bottom to Castle Garenbrig there too, and also kind of bricked. Whenever this or another creature you control enters, this fights up to one other creature you control. Hard to imagine. I think you'd play this over something like Vaultborn Tyrant. Maybe showing them Boseiju was a mistake, so they're like a lot less likely to play their hate cards. They don't have another land. This is the worst we've drawn all day. I am considering just casting Chomping Changeling. Fortunately, I think that's where we're at. I'll just go Worm's probably really good against Prowess. Why no attack? I don't know. Good question. Is Citadel too slow to queue for use of Garenbrig activations? I had one for a little while. I think I would play. I think it's just like it's only good if you have Castle Garenbrig or I guess like double Mosswort Bridge, and so like you'll tutor it sometimes. But I don't think you're tutoring it often enough to really want it. Okay, so I guess I'm kind of happy to see this. I still have the Boseiju for it, and I'm not playing into it next turn. I don't know. Maybe happy is not the right word. Voice of Victory is so good. This was like such a big miss for me. Yeah, the auto stack is somehow back on. Yeah, I may need to go to like the main settings and see what we can do. Hornet Queen seems like good against Sporos. Seems like it would be quite bad against Goblin Bombardment. So surely I'm just getting 2 more bridges. I think that's gonna be the play. This would be a good spot for Sunken Citadel, maybe. Okay, we'll take the Vaultborn Tyrant. I think it's a good spot for it. And then another Primeval Titan. Weird game. I'm glad that they had like such an awful hand. Seems like they're thinking about using a Galvanic Discharge here. Bounce Land plus Boseiju would be good. Well, it wouldn't be good here. I already have the Boseiju in my hand, but like in general, this is a spot where you might get that. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that a Bounce Land is going to hurt you more than it will help you in this deck, but I'm willing to be wrong. You can like use a bridge, reset a bridge too. It's not nothing. All right, so they do discharge, and then when they attack, they're going to get 2 more energy, which would let them Galvanic Discharge my Primeval Titan. Hopefully no Blood Moon. Yeah, it can't be Blood Moon plus the Vexing Bauble, I guess. Bounce land in a spell slot, but it's slow. Yeah, maybe. So my opponent did not jump with the Guide of Souls, although it doesn't really matter. They can Galvanic Discharge this anyways. They can Thraben Charm it anyways. They might as well block. So I'm taking 5 down to 10. They have no energy in the pool. So I could just cast Turntimber Symbiosis, or I could try to rumble into like exactly second Trudge. Let's just cast Turntimber Symbiosis, and then we can try to really pop off next turn. So I could take Ghalta, and Ghalta would let me put Trudge into play, which is not great. It's okay. I could take Terastodon, and I could blow up. Can't really blow up all 3 of their permanents. I think it's. I don't think I'm taking Terastodon, but let me make sure. Terastodon hit my own lands. I think it just needs to be Ghalta. Ghalta put the Trudge into play. And then next turn I get to go like Boseiju, Vexing Bauble, play Vaultborn Tyrant gain 3, play Primeval Titan gain 3, play Turntimber Symbiosis gain 3, play Trudge gain 3, have a million power toughness. I think it's a plan. Opponent does need to play another creature to have the ability to fly anything here. If you survive. It's really hard to die this turn. It's like, I think if they don't have a land, it's like impossible. It'd be a cool game to win, especially after Magic Online kind of screwed us over last game. Let me go check the universal settings, see if there's something I can do over here. Disable the start abilities automatically. Okay. They have 6 cards they're holding. I mean, they've been mana screwed. It could be almost anything. Bombardment's just lethal. Is it? So bombardment, I block Voice of Victory, they sack, put me down to 9. They hit me for 2 more damage, down to 7. They sack 2 more, down to 5. And then they Guide of Souls hit me down to 2. Yeah, I go to 1 against just Goblin Bombardment by my calculations. Yeah. With a land, it's definitely possible for them to kill me. I think at this point, we can say it's likely they don't have a land. I'm done saying there's no chance they have a land in these kind of games. Like, I don't know how they wouldn't immediately play the land, but some people just don't. Implying they've just been holding on Bombardment or Pride, which is about. Wait, no, I will. Okay, Pride is a card they would have played, but there was not another turn to deploy Bombardment. They've been very stuck on mana this game. All right, they're playing a spell. They're playing the Goblin Bombardment, so I believe we've calculated correctly that we're not dead. They can't jump. We block the Voice of Victory. They sack the Voice of Victory, ping me for 1. They sack they hit me for 5, and they can put me to exactly 1 life, which is not 0. Although and they didn't sack. All right. So let's Boseiju the Vexing Bauble. That seems like a good step on this plan here. They do get an untapped land. I was a little bit worried about Lightning Bolt off the Boseiju. Wow, they do. They get an untapped land here. Is it Orim's Chance? I don't know if I can play around Orim's Chance. They let me cast the Vaultborn Tyrant. Yeah, I guess I was dead to Bolt anyways, but they didn't have it, thankfully. So I guess I'm going to be looking for a Disciple of Freyalise off this Turntimber Symbiosis now. Nice. So let's go Disciple of Freyalise. Maybe sack the Gaul. I don't know. It's a good one. Okay, so we're 3-0 despite getting really screwed by Magic Online last game, despite mulliganing to 5 so often, despite stumbling there. Although I was very lucky that we were stumbling a lot, they were stumbling a lot. Let's get a trophy prediction. Okay, we're gonna keep this. We're gonna go. This is the first 7 card hand we're keeping today. We're gonna go turn 2 Green Sun into Fight Rigging. Oh, it's a commander card. Okay, would be a card that'd be totally fine for Modern. Honestly, it feels like that card could be fine for Standard. Like, there's not that many ways to sack artifacts, I would think. Spike, I'm gonna play Riftbound. My friend Honorog, who is really into it, has tempted me some. I talked to Jim Davis, and he likes the game a lot. I'll say that with me balancing the design of my own game and the stream and several other things that are smaller at the moment for me, I don't have a lot of time to learn a new card game like that, but maybe one day. 0 Arbor. Well, would you rather get a Dryad Arbor on turn 1, or would you rather Fight Rig and cast a spell for free on turn 3? My opponent's revealed a Samwise the Stouthearted to the graveyard. Card that I always thought was a little bit outside of playable. 2 mana, 2/1, enters, choose a permanent card that's put in your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, and return it to your hand, and then the ring tempts you. So they find a Felia or a Sam. Seems like if they had Solitude, they might have Solituded already, but hard to say for sure. Draw another Fight Rigging. I guess I'm going to actually cast another Trudge here. I need another Trudge for the Mycospawn Bridge, and I need to be good against Solitude. Getaway Barrel's not a Commander exclusive. Okay, good. It is a standard card. Okay, great. Is it the new Night Nurse? Yeah, I get. What is the new Night Nurse? Card Night Nurse. Oh, I put an exclamation point in card. They did find a Solitude here. When it enters, choose target permanent card. The graveyard put from anywhere, so you could surveil something, put it away. Right, let's go for Primeval Titan here. I mean, the ring tempts you is not. It's not blank text. All right, so I'm gonna grab 2 Mosswort Bridges. Both of these are very good. I guess I'm gonna go for the Vaultborn Tyrant. I don't actually know that that's better. Oh, then I'm definitely going for Ghalta. Am I going to play this Turntimber Symbiosis? I guess so, yeah. If I share my thoughts on the new Little Bear Switcher Twin combo. I think I don't know what's wrong with chat that they keep asking about it. I think it's like seems pretty clear this card's not good. I've had players tempted by the ring with Boromir and Boros Energy. It almost does nothing. I mean, I agree. It's not super powerful, but it just I don't know that we can say for sure that Lifelink is better than Ring Tempts You. Another thing is like you actually can do more. Like the thing with Boromir is you only Ring Tempts You once. You theoretically can continue to Ring Tempts You. All right, they return to Solitude. So they can respond. They can respond to me. Okay, they're just main phase solituding, sure. Up to 20, back up to 22. Okay, then they're gonna go Sam by Solitude back. Sure, cool. So I might go Mycospawn for Castle Garenbrig. We'll see. It's kind of a fun game where they're just giving me so much life that we're gonna be able to probably still do our thing. You got Aether Vial in this deck? Okay, so I think what I'd like to do is go to combat. Try to put 2 counters on my Trudge with the Fight Riggings. Which will give me 10 power for the bridge. Okay, so they go ahead and they Solitude now. They pitch a copy of Witch Enchanter. Then let's go... Maybe I should have Mycospawned and put the counters on the Mycospawn. Then I couldn't have had 2 lands up. So I'm going to grab the Castle Garenbrig to try to cast Terastodon next turn. And then let's cast a Fight Rigging, number 3. And I guess I could grab I could grab Summoner's Pact for the Ghalta, maybe? Probably better. So they take up the Vial to 1. They've got 2 cards in their hand. Trek in the Marine 22-6, you love parentheses, hate to see it. I will say I'm a big disliker of this kind of stuff in Magic the Gathering. I think it's also bad for multiplayer. Multiplayer is already so complex that it like adding all this I think slows things down. I think I think it was a good limited mechanic, but I think this was quite a bad constructed mechanic in limited and or in modern and Commander. And when I consulted Lord of the Rings, I wrote like a little essay on why I don't like these mechanics, and I wish they'd go away, and they didn't listen to me. But I'm not a fan. I just don't think they are good for the game. I'm gonna take 8 here. Got 30 life. So I found a Green Sun Zenith. My opponent has a Solitude up. So I can cast Terastodon. Maybe I want a Green Sun Zenith for Primeval Titan instead. Terastodon's not particularly good on this board. And it gets better if I can play it and I can activate the like bridges afterwards. Yeah, they don't have a white card for Solitude, but they have the Solitude under the Emperor of Bones. I wonder if we will just get like all of our threats Solitude in this game. Yeah, we do have a 5/5 to block their Overlord now, which is kind of good. Close deck Slumbering Titan or Primeval Trudge. Honestly, both good names. What did I have? Castle Garenbrig, Mono Green Trudge match. Okay, I think I like Primeval Trudge. Gotta outsource all of my deck names. Opponent's gonna maybe deck themselves this game. Late game blowing up all your lands for Terastodon. Oh yeah, that's true. I can just do that. The Return of Solitude. I'm gonna offer this trade here. It's a fun game, albeit a little Commander-esque. 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna play this as a land. 7. Oh, I did miscount actually. We can only play one thing off of the bridge here. Or play one activate one of the bridges. Sorry, I don't know. I'm struggling so much with that. So they do have a Solitude in their hand. I need at least one elephant. I think I do this. Well, the thing, if I do this, then they just respond with the Solitude now, which is not. I guess I target 3 of my things actually. So I go 1. Yeah, I do this so I can cast something else. Yeah. Okay, so they're casting a Solitude on my Terastodon. I think I'm going to cast Raph and Mikey, so I'm going to go killing 3 of my lands here. I'm probably going to wait on the fight rigging for the Summoner's Pact, but let's go 1, 2, 3. This is such a cool game. I'm really trying to enjoy and appreciate getting to play like a really unique game of Modern that I've never played before. It's like our first time having this in play today. Right, I just find a Fanatic, although Fanatic mana is actually pretty relevant for next turn. Oh, I meant to have a 3/4/4s. I misstacked the triggers. Not a big deal, I guess. They vial something in. It's another copy of Felia. Why did they right to blow up a fight rigging? I don't know. Such an odd game. Why not Ghalta plus Terastodon? I think that this is a little bit better. I want to wait on the Ghalta until I can go like Vaultborn Tyrant, then Summoner's Pact for another big thing, then put Ghalta into play and get a bunch of extra triggers. I think I want to have a bigger turn with it if I can, and I think I can. So maybe they blink the 5/5. Okay, they blink the 5/5. I'm gonna double block the Felia. Yeah. Oh, I didn't actually even realize that. Yeah, if you hit Trudge, it's attacking for 6. Okay, that actually makes Raph way better than I thought. Hitting Mycospawn's still pretty bad, but still like 10 power. I don't know. I do think at this point I feel very confident we're gonna win. Okay, they fatal push one of the elephants. I guess they didn't foresee the double block. Let's go to combat. I think I'm going all in here. So they're going to vial in a wisp. A wisp, okay. They're targeting Raph and Mikey. So in response to this, I'm going to put Vaultborn Tyrant into play. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to gain 3 life. Then I'm going to go to combat with my fight rigging. Oh, sorry. Wait, why didn't I get to... Why didn't I get to cast the Summoner's Pact? Oh, this is 6 power. Okay, sorry. Thought it had more power than that. It was 7. Okay, so let's attack with our 6/6. They double block. They do have no cards in their hand. They're doing this so I can get off the Mosswort Bridge, but I can just bridge again. Yeah, I guess we go cast this to get the bridge mana or bridge power toughness. Guess I'm getting Dryad Arbor. It's kind of weird. And then we go Ghalta, cast, draw a card off Vaultborn Tyrant before we trigger the Ghalta. I think I put the Trudge into play. We could cast the Trudge though. Let me just... I think I'm just gonna blow up my own stuff, but okay, they concede finally. Cool game, crazy game. That was game 1. It's a very long game 1. Do I think they're gonna have Vexing Bauble? Probably. So I'll probably play 1 Chomping Changeling against them. Scavenging Ooze, great against Samwise. Alright, maybe just minus a Pact. They are a Solitude Recursion deck. I don't think that Ooze is good against the Solitude Recursion plan. Worth playing a couple Groves to kick Mycospawn. I think it's important for us for untap Castle Garenbrig. You do have spawn tokens for kick Mycospawn. I'm also just okay saying Mycospawn is just a very good card in this deck instead of a broken card. I guess I'm just okay with it. Is 3 bucket here? Do not think so. Why did you remove the best card from modern this deck? Mostly trying out new tech, but I agree. So you lose Kozilek's Command, but you also get to play 4 Mosswort Bridge, and Mosswort Bridge, and maybe you could play more bridges in the other Trudged version. But this card is like, it's so good, and then Titan for them is so good, and Castle for Titan is so good, and I don't know, I think there's a lot to like about building the deck this way. Let's try this. More oh yeah, if rather a Vile deck, yeah, I'd probably do what the second Changeling. Also, yeah, killing Overlord. Good to have this one in our hand, I guess. Puts on the build to 6. There's also something to say, and I'm not really doing it for this reason, but like if Kozilek's Command gets banned, like it's good to know like what direction we're gonna go in for the archetype. They use the graveyard a fair bit. It's not worth cutting 1 top end card. I don't think it's the kind of game I want to play now. In fact, the top end cards are really good against them. Like this is a great matchup just to have a million big dumb idiots. Like that we're immune to Consign. We're not immune, but yeah, we are way better against Consign. It gets so Consign like some ETBs and like the hideaway trigger. And like Mycospawn, right? But we are much more resilient to Consign. We cast a Primeval Titan against Consign earlier, and it's like, well, I still got this thing in play. I need help. Tell me that Rakdos Abigail Death Shadow is worth it over Grixis Death Shadow version. I've always liked that version a lot. I do recommend that version, yeah. They take a Solitude. I imagine you'd be playing this next challenge. I don't know. It's Wednesday, next challenge Friday. We'll see. This probably is top of the leaderboard at the moment. They are stuck on 2 lands, or stuck. They only have 2 lands. Okay, take the hit. There's a Trudge. There's a Mycospawn. Mycospawn not looking super duper good against the recurring Phantom, I guess. Why don't we take Trudge? I think I'd rather keep the Disciple of Freyalise to sack to Trudge. It seems like the kind of game. And then Green Sun for a Fanatic, and then we can, jump mana with the Fanatic next turn. Why not Rexage instead of Changeling? Changeling is better because it blocks Ocelot Pride. That's literally it. I think that's more important than having 2 power. Very boring. I agree. Rebound Ephemerate's a little annoying. Might lose game 2. Do you think Wizards should ban K Commander Temple? I think it makes a lot more sense to ban Command instead of Temple, but it's not exactly the most interesting convo. This is getting blown up, so I don't really want to take a good card. Actually, I'm just gonna I think we're locked out. Let's go to game 3. Game 3 on the play. Let's play the second Changeling. I think over the Pact here. Changeling cannot be used without Drowsy Temple. Temple is only colorless spells, and it's not colorless. Would you ever want to try Tooth and Nails? What do they pay out for Fnatic? No, I don't think so. I have to think about it a little bit more, though, but I don't really like... I don't love the sound of it. Probably better to respin with Fight Rigging than it is to Turntimber Symbiosis. Not 100% sure. Yeah, I got to keep a 7 again. They do keep a card on top. So maybe they're thinking about like evoking Solitude before they Impending Overlord. They pitch Felia. It's interesting. Yeah. So they probably don't have too many other white cards if they're going to pitch a Felia there. They've been in Ashiok. They grab another Solitude back to their hand here. Do you think the artifact lands could be unbanned? I'm pretty strongly against it. I think it just makes gameplay a lot worse. Where affinity decks, they will win more game 1s with these artifact lands, and then the game 1s are less interesting because of the artifact lands, and the game 2s are less interesting because the game 2s are just like you're much weaker to meltdowns and stuff. I not that affinity matchups right now are very known for very interesting gameplay, but it would certainly exacerbate that dynamic. All right, I guess I'm gonna grab Castle Garenbrig. Kind of a tense game. No White Orchid Phantom, thankfully. I think Tooth and Nail makes some sense with Fnatic and Labyrinth. Well, it doesn't pitch to Lab, so if you're gonna play Lab, if you're gonna play Lab, you almost want no big cards that don't pitch to Lab. But I could think about it some more. We're gonna take 8. They grabbed a Boggart Trawler. We know that they have a Trawler, the Solitude, presumably a white card, and then 2 cards we've got no information on. Yeah, you can respond to the activation of Bridge with like a Solitude. It doesn't pitch a Lab, works the cards yourself. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I would much rather play like an Ugin or an Ulamog or an Emrakul all the time because those just do pitch to Lab, and this way you don't have the situation where you just have these clunkers stuck in your hand. Oh, they flicker by Turntimber Symbiosis. Wow. Great play. Make him Solitude, I guess. Their hand is Solitude. Dude, their draw was so good. Not beatable, I guess. Ugh, dang. Turntimber got covered the BT list. One, I think it was wrong. I think that the untapped green source and it's better to hardcast is better than the Drowner of Truth. But two, this deck is much Turntimber Symbiosis is much better in this deck. And three, like, you know, can keep this on the play, I think. I think I'm just gonna play the castle tapped here. Yeah. My draw was awesome too. My draw was really good. That was maybe the best black-white blink draw I've ever seen. I don't know. It was extra awesome. Kazar with the 33 months. Good to see you. Obviously, this is a great draw. Oh, and that's an even better draw. Can I... No, I can't. I can't, Green Sun for Terastodon on turn 3. Not quite there. I'm going to grab this Boseiju, though. It's actually a great grab. Let's go ahead and cast the Fight Rigging. Is it format good state? I think things are good. Things it's got problems. Modern's always had problems. I think you can enjoy the format and think things are in good shape without also thinking things are perfect and that there aren't issues. But I'm having a good time. All right, guess we're gonna go try to cast Primeval Titan here. And then Boseiju them. It's a broken system image 2. I mean, I haven't seen an image 2 hate comment in a while, but I'll say image 2 meta, pre-Lord of the Rings, that was the best modern ever was. Right, definitely Terastodon. 2 Terastodons. I almost want to give him a turn. Untapped Bridge would be sneaky good to like respond to removal. I'm not a big speaker fan of these builds, especially with no like Utopia Sprawl or Ugin's Lab. I think we're probably gonna win this game. Seems likely. Dang, I don't even get to double Terastodon. Chompers. Maybe just one. Probably just one Chomper. Probably cut the Vaultborn Tyrant. The Vaultborn Tyrant's been pretty good. I could see maybe playing second Vaultborn Tyrant over first Raph and Mikey. They do get better in multiples too. I can see playing third Summoner's Pact also. How often do 3/3 trust an opponent? Trust gives opponent come back to bite you. Sometimes they bite you. Hasn't been too big a deal. Yeah, you could try Tooth and Nail. I'm not a big believer in the card, but it'd be cool if it worked. I don't like if you hide away into Tooth and Nail, you still have to pay mana for Entwine, right? It's another deal breaker. But Titan of Industry, I don't think Titan of Industry is very good. I have cast that card a lot in Pioneer. I don't think it would be very good in Modern. I have had a chatter recently who said that they like the card, so maybe I'm wrong. So for the draw against Titan, sounds good if we find a single untapped land. I think on the draw I'm gonna mulligan. So this is 4. It's almost a turn 3 Terastodon. Opponent's on a build of 6. They reveal Devourer of Destiny. Yeah, I looked at Kolga. I did look at all the big dumb idiots. They say no to a Karn, a Tower, and an Ugin. They play a Vexing Bauble, which is certainly good against my hand. Have we tried Second Soul Castle Garenbrig? That's how this deck started. I'm really obsessed with it. This deck at one point was I was just trying to hardcast Ghalta and off Castle Garenbrig, Second Citadel. It predictably tested really poorly, but then I remembered this deck and was kind of excited about moving in this direction. So they have Karn or K Command, because those are the cards you'd pause to think about here. Citadel just the tap land is really rough in this deck. It's just like I don't think it's where you want to be. Although sometimes you would search it off Mycospawn, right? They make spawns. That's a little bit scary. Getting a little bit of lag here. A lot of bit of lag. Could rumble. Let's rumble first, I guess. Yeah, I think I'll take a Titan. The Castle Garenbrig in play. They might be casting like a Ugin here, though. Okay, game 3. On the play for game 3. Hard to watch these matches on Escape Command. I mean, that is the best card in Modern. Continue to play it is good. I will say the bridges have been crazy. The bridges have been crazy. I've also liked the cards we're playing a lot. The lesson might just be play more Mosswort Bridges in regular Trudge. Well, I feel like this deck is also better at turning it on by like Castle Garenbrig into Titan and stuff. I guess while they sideboard, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Alright, let's go on the play. I'm definitely gonna keep this. I don't know why I'm pausing so much. I guess I do want a Green Sun for Arbor turn 1. Right, because then I can use Pacts to get Trudge. Right now I think it's too bad if I just miss my 3rd land drop with this hand. Opponent's on the mold of 6. Hand might also be able to kick Mycospawn because of the Malevolent Rumble. We'll see. They keep a 6-card hand with Devourer of Destiny. Been working most of the stream with Terastodon. Are you primarily targeting your permanents? Mostly you target your opponent's stuff and you like blow up their lands and they can't do anything. Sometimes you target your own stuff. Oh, it's 2 Devourers. So they say no to 4 cards. They say no to a Tower, a Warping Whale, a Seer, and a Swamp. I guess I'd say no to those cards too a lot of the time. Then they say no to an Ugin, a Vexing Bauble, a Mind Stone, and a map. Then they play an Ugin's Lab. They imprint a Devourer. Do they have a K command to turn 1, 2 for 1? It's good that this card is also good on turn 1 sometimes. It looks like they have it, and they're casting it here. Oh, it's Mind Stone. Great. There's few feelings better than your opponent's just not having the K command. So if I rumble this turn, play Bridge tapped. Yeah, let's go rumble this turn, play Bridge tapped, because then I could choose, because I'm taking this. I could choose which hideaway spell to play. So yeah, like we bricked on this one, so maybe we'll not brick on the fight rigging. My opponent chose not to dismember Dryad Arbor. They play Filgrease Silex. So I don't have enough mana because they killed the Arbor to pay for the Pact next turn. They're thinking about killing my spawn. They decided not to kill the spawn. So I have the option to cast Fight Rigging, tapping these 3. And then if I find... I guess I lose to Dismember number 2. If they just Dismember response, I can't pay for Pact. So why don't we just be able to cast a Titan next turn? Seems fine. We can also potentially still go for Fight Rigging Trudge if like we really need to do something. But my opponent kept a 1-lander, so hard to imagine that we really, really need to do something. I guess, I don't know why they did it Dismember. There's not a better target in the deck for Dismember than Dryad Arbor. Right, they find a land and then they look at my thoughts. Hands, I don't know, maybe they take the Disciple of Freyalise. I think you could make an argument for probably any non-Summoner's Pact card. Although maybe also Summoner's Pact. Okay, they take the Titan. So I guess the Silex is on 1, so I'm not going to be going for the Trudge line. Do I just want a Summoner's Pact for another Titan? I mean, another Titan seems really good here. I have to pay for Pact next turn. I think I'm not broke. I can pay for it. I guess I'd get Raph and Mikey if I had 1 more mana. So I guess I get Bridge and the Dryad Arbor's dead. Okay, I would get Dryad Arbor just for the 10th power maybe sometimes here. Although I have the Mycospawn, so maybe that's not even correct. Fight Rigging also gives me 10 power. There are no more bridges in the deck for whatever that's worth. They take the Mycospawn, which is like definitely the worst of the 2 cards in my hand. Although if they knew I was drawing another Fight Rigging, I guess. I think I'm gonna sack the Mycospawn. I don't think I want to attack. I think I need to just leave this in play. Maybe not. Maybe I could just attack. Yeah, I could attack and I can just go play another Titan and then, or cast Terastodon. I can just do whatever. I've it's gonna be hard to lose this. I know I'm trading a Titan for. Oh, they did a double block. Okay. It is true. Double blocking is just not in the toolbox of some players. Okay, so we 4-1 our first league. I feel very good about how the deck looked there. Raph and Mikey wasn't bad. Maybe we should keep it in. I either want to cut a Raph and Mikey for a second Vaultborn Tyrant because I kind of want to see what like multiples of those in play are like, but I think we just didn't get to